Hey, good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Wade and Carter Show. Ash Brent live from the Atzenhofer studio. We're glad you're all here this morning. Thanks for joining us.
Smooth transition.
Ricky King, Greg Garcia, Marvin Makers. I thought I saw Stephanie Conti in as well. She didn't get the podium. It was Ricky King, Greg Garcia, Marvin Makers. Good morning, everybody.
We went from license-free techno pop music that neither of us like to dead silence, and then you went, oh, and you put, sorry, and you pushed up.
I think it was still going, though. On there. But anyway, we're here for the Atzenhofer studio, Wade and Carter Show.
Atzenhofer takes no credit whatsoever, nor none of the blame for the ineptness of our fingers on the soundboard.
Nope, none at all. Wade and Carter Weather brought to you by the great folks at AT Deerland Hayfeed and Ranch Services. Stop
Under the
by.
red moon that you cannot see in Victoria, Texas, it's 69 degrees and mostly cloudy. I think mostly cloudy is fair. It is odd to me.
Didn't get to see the lunar eclipse last night.
Right. Isn't the solstice thing about to happen? Aren't we close to like the longest day of the year or something?
June. That's usually June.
Okay.
It's first day of summer, yeah.
You explained to me how yesterday when I got here a little bit after 6, it was dark. And honestly, this morning when I got here a little after 6, it was light.
You got here at 6:30 this morning.
Okay.
That's why. Half hour makes a difference.
Isn't that odd? High today of only 85. It's going to be cloudy and windy and cloudy.
Only 85. It's March 2nd.
We need to kind of do one of those.
March 3rd.
The AT Deerland Feed emphatic weather statement of the day. There will be no hurricanes making landfall in Texas today.
Or for the next month.
Or for the next month. There's your 30-day forecast of hurricane-free weather.
As somebody asked me the other day, what's that blend of fertilizer you get at Deerland?
21-7-14. It's not quite time to put it down.
I said, just ask for the Wade and Carter. That's all you need to know.
That's really all you have to do.
Yep.
Go in and ask for Jackie Parsons.
Yep. So I said, go talk to Jackie, ask for the Wade and Carter blend. She'll hook you up. Marvin Mick is checking in, Bobby Leister, Stephanie Conti, Mark Kurtz, Scott Tomko.
And I always like to give credit to Matt Boucher. He's actually got emeritus status, which I think means you're old, retired, but you haven't died yet.
Yes.
So they call you emeritus. It's a compliment, but it's like if the hospice people show up at your house. Like, it's over. You just don't know when. But Matt is the guy that just so nonchalantly threw out, oh, guys, you just need the 21-7-14 blend. You can get it right there at Deerland Feed. And that is what led us to acquiring Deerland Feed as a sponsor. And then we found out, we did the research and got to know Jackie and found out that they'd been there for over 50 years. Fantastic company and great people. Yep. And quirky. You know, she'll go out back, she makes some kind of like, I don't know, it's like you would picture the peacocks in the park screeching noise and the yard guys come running.
Tweak their back and lift the 21-7-14 blend.
Craziness.
Torrin Bales, Scott Tomko, Linda Christ, Raina Scherer, good morning. Scott Snow, Tammy Keeling, David Glass, Jordan Glass, Lisa Poole Jr., Cody.
Hey, Cody.
There's Jackie.
She heard us talking about her.
Yeah, she did. Patrick Strauss, good morning.
Matt Boucher heard us talking about him too.
Randy Langston, planets aligning, blood moons, wars and sacrifices, terrorist attacks. Gotta love it. Everything's, British Columbia, the province in Canada on the furthest west coast, just declared that they will, once they switch to daylight savings time this March 8th, I think, this Sunday.
Come on.
They will not switch back next November.
That'll show them.
All-time daylight savings time.
Junior Staples correct. It's Balon time. Yep. It's time to get in and replace his I's with A's, and you have the product. Balon.
Linda says the blood moon's tonight. I thought it was it last night?
I thought it was last night, but that doesn't mean I'm right. Did you hear, BJ Nelson, you can call. Did you hear about what happened at the VLS auction last night?
No.
Was there a fight? Was there a melee? 894-4020 if you want to call and share.
Justin Glass, Andrew Alvarez, Tommy Kingston, good morning. Glad you're all here.
We've got a
Reminder,
lot.
it is election day today. If you did not vote early and you did not vote often,
Please go vote today.
Yeah.
Vote today. I do. We do have several, I think, legitimate things to share with you. I don't have an exact data war update. I don't know, where we stand on what activities happen. Here's BJ Nelson call. Let's get her on the phone. So we're joined by our friend BJ Nelson. Good morning, BJ. How are you?
Good morning.
Don't sound so cheery. It's early. It's early. People are not. They're
I'm
not
a
ready
morning
for.
person.
Look at me, I'm Sandra D. They're not ready for that.
Keep your jealousy in check.
They.
So guess what happened? So crazy last night.
Okay.
There were like 18 exhibitors left to auction off. So, people are counting the money they have left and getting toward that. And all of a sudden, David Brogger, our awesome police officer, I'm sure he has another title, goes up on the stage, grabs the microphone and says, go to any exit you can as quickly as possible and leave the building. Well, I just want to tell you that the agriculture community, we respect police officers, and so of course that's what we did. And
Slowly,
everybody got out to
right?
the parking lot.
I can see all the
Well,
people
Scott
with
was-
walkers and
Scott
stuff.
was like, do I take the liquor? I was like, no, leave the liquor. Let's just get out of here. So nobody knew what was going on. People left their drinks, and got out there, and we never really heard what happened. Of course, there were rumors that went on, but all I wanted to say was our police officers, our city police officers, because all of a sudden there were like 5, police cars there in front, and they pushed us all the way to the fence, like against the road. And I don't know what the people did on the other side. We were in the front. But then all of a sudden, after about 45 minutes, they said we can come back in, and we finished the auctions. And I would say 80% of people came back to support our kids,
Oh,
which
that's
is
awesome.
amazing.
Well, Scott
And,
Tomko put down here on the comments that there was a bomb threat.
Okay, well, maybe I don't like to spread rumors I don't know are true.
And that's our job.
So, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So, but I wanted to say that the city police did an amazing job. Leadership didn't scare us. Everybody evacuated very respectfully,
Orderly.
and orderly. So
I think that sums
it
up our
wasn't a
community.
shifting nut.
That kind of sums up our community. So, well, hey, thanks for
Appreciate
the
that.
update, boss lady. We'll talk to you later.
I don't like any scoop to be on.
There you
scripted.
go. People here to hear from. This will be in the local newspaper sometime in April. Thanks. Thanks for calling.
Bye.
Bye.
yeah. Thank you, BJ.
Yeah.
Just saw the post at approximately 9:15 last night. Victoria Police Department responded to an investigation at the community center. As a precaution, the building was cleared by law enforcement. Patrons were subsequently allowed to re-enter and continue with the event. So, that's what we got.
In one way, we're just lucky, and in other ways, we're just better than other towns. I mean, you see the tragedy, you see the apparently terroristic action that occurred in Austin, Texas this week. And I have been proud so far of, we follow sports really closely. I haven't seen a lot of, oh, yeah, that's where that liberal university is. There had been a lot of college smearing going on. It's bigger than that.
Yep.
And I've been proud that I'm not at all surprised that happened. The guy, has a property of Allah and he's wearing a Iranian shirt flag under his. This is a guy that I think was suicide by police, but it's that close to us, but it's not here. And I'm very thankful that Victoria is kind of a little sanctuary of rationality. Our extremists aren't crazy, so that's a help. I like back to what we were saying. I don't have a specific update. Marco Rubio yesterday saying, "Hey, look, this is the part where it's going to get worse before it gets better." I'm never ever flippant about loss of life. I think that it's incredibly entitled, naive, and short-sighted to believe that you're going to go in and attack a foreign country and not have any loss of American life. It's not fair, it's not right to use the word insignificant in conjunction with loss of American military lives. The death count now being at like 6. But I am reminded that we've been at war with Iran for a long time. I remember, and even the most leftist of you will admit that you were outraged when a little band of pirate idiots took a boat up close to the USS Cole and blew it up and killed a bunch of our service people. And I remember Bill Clinton saying, "We will find you." But
And we never did.
He didn't do anything about it. So after 47 years, and I've told Ash this, and we don't necessarily agree on this. I don't think we disagree. I'm just much more emphatic. If you set aside the idea that the CIA has reported that the cleric regime is extremely vulnerable, the Ayatollah was very old.
86.
They were slaughtering young people in the streets. They were losing their grip on the masses that they control by fear. They are terrorist leaders of their own country, of their own people. Set that aside. Like we could all say, you don't bomb another country just because they're killing 20 and 30,000 young people. We don't do that. We won't do that. Although it would be...
We haven't done it. We didn't do it in Yugoslavia.
We've
in the
allowed
90s.
Christians to be wholesale slaughtered in Africa. So look at it like that. So we would not go into the country just to force a regime change. And...
Except in Iran all those years ago.
And that's right. The Shah was a bad guy. The Shah was, he killed people to maintain control. But the Shah was a bad guy who was our bad guy. Okay? Just like Fidel Castro was a bad guy who was our bad guy. Just like that Chavez guy was a bad guy who was they were all our guy when we were giving them money. I mean, heck, we gave the Shah the plates to print his own money. But when you look back, they're all our guy based on money, just as Barack Obama gave pallets and pallets of money to the Shiites. But you wouldn't go in just to free the people, and you wouldn't go in just because 23% of China's oil comes from that region, and you'd love to kind of tighten the noose. China's got economic problems. China has control of their people problems. China's young people aren't reproducing because China's young people can't get a job and find a place to live.
Oh, and China's older young people are actually retiring and moving out of the cities and living in small towns for $128 a month in rent.
So you don't go in to free the people, and you don't go in simply to drop the hammer on China, but you do go in to finish what you started in keeping Iran from having a nuclear weapon. Never forget 9/11. Never forget the USS Cole. Republican president, Democrat president.
But isn't this whole Iran is so close to having a nuclear weapon? To me, it almost smells like we're 5 years away from the next ice age. We're 5 years away from the polar ice caps melting and the world flooding.
To bring it more close to home, does it not sound a lot like they've got weapons of mass destruction? Does it not sound like that?
I mean, Netanyahu's been making this same claim since 1990 that Iran is on the verge of a nuclear weapon.
I will throw this
here we
at
are
you, though.
36 years later, and they're still on the verge of having a nuclear weapon.
I will still throw this at you. when you take the sum total of the fact that Iranian negotiators negotiate, you don't negotiate. If you're Iran, you don't negotiate with the U.S. The U.S. tells you what to do. Why? Because if you don't do it, you're going to find out.
Really? Because they haven't really found out for 47 years.
They're finding out right now. That's the beautiful thing. And the bonus of it is that our intelligence community has said, fine, I respect you going in to eliminate. Remember, folks, if all you're trying to do is create uranium for nuclear power plants, you don't do that in a concrete bunker 300 feet below the surface of the earth. Those people were hiding in the mountains trying to create a nuclear weapon. I would have zero.
They've been hiding in the mountains trying to create a nuclear weapon for 40 years.
That's fine. But, okay, so what I'm saying, I think a fundamental difference as I see it between me and you right now is that I am deferring to our intelligence community who is telling the president these people are closer than they've ever been and they need to be stopped.
And here's the problem I have with that. There's the same intelligence community that created a false dossier to try to get Trump, the same intelligence community that spied on his presidential campaign. The
So
same
what do we
intelligence
do?
community.
Do you just stop and wait until they have it?
I don't know that they would.
See, so here's my deal, and it's okay that we disagree.
No, it absolutely is.
My take on it is this, Linda Christ, with the words right out of my mouth, we have plenty of legitimate reasons to bomb Iran. We do. Whether it is to eliminate the possibility of them having a nuclear weapon or to strategically protect our interest in the Middle East with our relationship with Israel and to eliminate a big chunk of China's oil and to free the people and set them up for a regime change. All three are noble exercises.
But here's the problem I have with this. If you just the history of regime change for the United States has not worked out well anywhere we've tried it.
Totally agree. You can't take warring people and make them not war.
It didn't work out long term in Iran when we installed the Shah with the help of England, who maybe, despite the fact they're scared of all the Muslims in their country having control of that country because of their unfettered immigration process that's just allowed a bunch of infidels to come in or Muslims come in to fight the infidels,
right?
And they won't stand up against it. But at the same time, maybe they learned their lesson that, oops, we helped put the Shah in and that didn't work out so well. Now they all hate us and now they're coming here because we're stupid enough to let them come here.
Yeah. England's got big problems. Greg Garcia, I agree 100%. It's not the same intelligence community. A lot of them were getting weeded out by the Trump administration.
Yeah, but it's not that easy. The intelligence community is there for a long term. It's not as easy as it's not like, well, let's all go to the portal and get some new ones. It's
Right.
not that easy. They're there for a long time. They're entrenched in that. That's what they do. But I have a hard time believing that the Ayatollah is 86 years old. All of a sudden, and Trump has a history of this, Venezuela, you got 5 to 7 days, boom, 5 days we go and we get Maduro, right?
He told him 10 to 15 days.
Whatever it is. And so he told Iran 10 to 15 days. The Ayatollah is 86 years old. The Ayatollah hasn't been seen in public in I don't know how long.
Yeah.
He hides around, he makes messages, he sends them out on Iranian state TV to the people to keep them controlled, but he doesn't get seen. Now, all of a sudden,
This is very interesting.
we
folks.
find out that there's going to be 40 of them sitting down at a falafel house for breakfast on Saturday morning, and we blow them all up. They're just there. They're martyrs. That's what they wanted. This helps fuel the hatred towards the West, the hatred towards the infidels. I cannot see it for what the intelligence community is claiming this is. Oh, our intelligence led us to believe they were going to be there. They don't care. They'll martyr themselves to go get their 72 versions. Yeah. It was a setup. We fell for it. We bombed them. I see it differently because
I
the
cannot-
Ayatollah has not been in public and they haven't had that many. Think about it. Soleimani was on a freaking airport runway by himself
In
when
the
we killed
belly
him
of a truck.
in the middle of nowhere in Iraq when we killed him.
Yeah.
By himself. He was taking so much precaution to stay away from people.
I
Now
think
the
this is-
Ayatollah gets 40 of them together in one room, conveniently.
This is interesting to me, folks, because Ash is the first person. I've been listening to this pretty much 20 hours a day. Ash is the first person to throw this out there anywhere. And I find this very, very intriguing that it is. I did hear one pundit yesterday, Mike Slater said, having all of those people together in one place was an Elmer Fudd level of ignorance. But he didn't go so far as to even put together, they may have done it on purpose. He literally, you're dealing with crazy people, crazed religious fanatics who believe that dying for Allah is the guarantee of entry to paradise and 72 virgins. This very well may have been their Guyana punch.
And the Ayatollah knew things are slipping out of his hands in Iran by the uprising in January, so he ordered the IRGC to go kill them all. Estimates are anywhere, official Iranian estimates, which is interesting because the same media that wanted to believe Hamas when they said, oh, there's 50,000 people that have died at the hands of Israel, won't believe the Iranians when they say, wow, we've only killed 3,000. Now there's as many as up to 100,000 that have been killed and slaughtered wholesalely by the Iranian Republican Guard.
So here's where, and that fact is what makes me think about this. I think part of the Ayatollah being, I can't speak to his mental state, but think about the idea that if they're gone, I think that he may have been smart enough to know that the people may not hate the U.S. We've seen the folks of Iranian descent cheering in the streets, celebrating the fact that the Ayatollah was removed from power. And you've seen, I think he may have realized,
but most of those
it's
images in
over.
the streets are here.
Yeah, in the U.S.
Because they've been told to stay and shelter in place while we continue to bomb Iran.
Yeah.
But I just, let's take a break and then we'll come back to this because there's a lot to talk about. We got to
catch your breath.
I have to do that too.
Man,
I'm going to
folks.
hyperventilate. Don't want to fall out again.
After you go on a rant of epic proportions, get by Veracruz on a pre-call to Wednesday, Tuesday. Have the full menu. Enjoy
Everything but the Caldo.
everything but the Caldo. Allen's Wrecker Service, 578-60. He's checking his blood sugar, folks. This guy is, I mean, talk about a martyr. He's dying for the program. Allen's Wrecker Service, 578-6300. Allen's your go-to toe-to.
Check my blood pressure.
They'll help you get from the, wow, don't hyperventilate, as our leftist idiots often say. Allen's Wrecker Service help you get from here to there. Saw Alan Miller yesterday at Lowe's. He looks great, and he's doing great. Good. Allen's is the best. Chopping Block, Victoria. Tell me about today.
Fresh off from winning first place in the open category at the 2026 Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo World Championship Barbecue Contest. So congrats to the Chopping Block. That's awesome.
They do great. Any kind of recognition. And I haven't said it here yet, but I'll lie. I'll do that pastoral thing. When Ashley Hafling went and bought his brisket from the Chopping Block, he had no idea he would finish first for the Go Texan team from Victoria. First place brisket at the Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo Barbecue Cook-Off, and that is huge. That's the kind of deal that will be in Ashley's obituary. Yeah, that is a big deal.
Chopping Block has bacon wrap terrace majors right now, $9 each. Those are really good. Barbacoa Boudin is back. They've got Boudin beef pinwheels. Go check it out. Everything you need ready to go at the Chopping Block.
Absolutely. Went Services, Went Electrical, Went for all your electrical needs. period. Dawn says sometimes we need to mix up our advertising. What do I tell you? They're the premier residential and commercial electrical contractor in the region. There you go. And if you need a whole house generator, reach out to them, or a partial generator. Cummins, Kohler,
Stratton.
Generac, they've got them all.
They got them all.
Now, let's go ahead.
Where is it?
Yeah, it's a different level of people. Go back up there. You can read what Callie from right there. And Callie Fromey says, we don't bomb a country for these reasons, but you would think that the bleeding heart left would be glad that a change is coming. In Iran, same-sex acts are illegal and punishable by flogging, imprisonment, or death. They regularly penalize women for showing hair or ankles with fines, arrest, public harassment, and potential imprisonment.
Public humiliation as well. No, I agree.
They are not like us. And you talk about separation of church and state and the things that we take for granted and the things that we throw at everything. They absolutely have none of that.
No.
It is a church state. The church tells the state what to do. And it's not at all consistent with Western mores.
I just worry. I question, when you think about it, aside from taking on Hitler, our role in regime change has not played out very well since then. North Korea is still technically at war with South Korea. We were heavily involved in that. Vietnam didn't work out so well. We were in a quagmire for a decade or longer and ended up pulling out with the loss of how many tens of thousands of troops.
57,000.
Afghanistan, that's not worked out so well. The Taliban back in control.
But
Iraq, what's happened in Iraq since
in
we got rid of
Afghanistan,
Saddam Hussein?
Numerically speaking, compared to Vietnam, compared to the Civil War, we didn't lose very many people in Afghanistan either. Different type of war, lots of bad injuries.
And I don't know that we thought this went through enough because we have no plan for a regime change in Iran, and that's
not our problem. It's not our role.
Well,
it's not
but
why we're there.
if it's not our problem to solve it, why do we start it?
Well, I think all the U.S. has done, and again, I think this is a side benefit to the people of Iran. I heard Donald Trump say yesterday, we've given you the opening. Walk through it. It is your country. Seize it. He is not in any form saying the United States is coming over there to solve your problems. I mean,
No,
Barack
but
Obama
if you're going to
killed,
make a mess of the problems, you probably should be part of the solution.
Could it be more of a mess than you walking to the store and the IRGC shooting you to death for being on the street? Can it be more of a mess than that? At least right now, the regime is on its heels. And like Torrin Bale said, Obama took out bin Laden. It was the right thing to do, right? So, Donald Trump takes out the cleric regime, and the left is not going to give him any credit. It doesn't matter. Now, I do want to shift gears on you because I want you to understand why.
Well, but this is a good point Scott Townshend makes. The U.S. continues to be the police of the world when Donald Trump has said we can no longer continue to be the police of the world.
I think that we're being the police of the world on the surface, and in reality, we're promoting what's best for the United States.
And
the idea of the Chinese not controlling the Straits of Hormuz, the idea of the regime not controlling the Straits of Hormuz, the idea that 23% of China's oil is no longer going to them from Iran, and a huge portion of the oil that's shipped out of Venezuela was going to China as well, those two factors may very well prohibit China from attacking Taiwan. But I did not know this. Side trivia for you, because I actually did some research. Taiwan at one point, of course, I mean, it was just China. And did you know that Taiwan, the island, used to be called Formosa?
Yes.
You knew that because you're a spy.
But I can't help but wonder who got into Donald Trump's ears on this one in Iran.
CIA.
And I think the military
Joint
industrial
Chiefs.
complex, the neocons who have run this country for so long, played a huge
You
role
think
in
McDonnell Douglas helped talk him into it?
I do. And I think General Dynamics and all those companies that profit off war, think about it. They were making money when everything was going to the Ukraine. We haven't given the Ukraine anything for 2 years now. They're not making any money. Oh, we got to go replace 3 bombers that just got shot down by Kuwait.
So let's just say that you're right and that the motives weren't pure.
I'm not trying to be right. I just don't
Is the
trust
world
the motives.
is the world better off?
I don't think so.
Really.
How
We
is
should have
it?
just left Iran alone. Just leave them alone. So
No,
we
I'm
go
not-
and fly
I'm
a
not-
36-hour mission, and we blow up their lab, and they regroup, and they go back to what they were doing, and they tell you in negotiation, nuts, we're going to do what we want. And you think you just go, okay, I'm going to follow that. Remember when Joe Biden said, what do you say to Iran if they do this? And Joe Biden goes, don't. Really?
If they really
He was a
wanted,
wuss.
if they really wanted a nuke, they
No.
would trade oil to North Korea
wrong.
for the nuke that North
No.
Korea has.
No, you're wrong. Too powerful, too much. That you don't just trade nukes. It's like I'll give you Broadway for a get out of jail free card and a nuclear weapon. That's not happening. Do you have any doubt that if they had it, they would use it on an American city?
I don't know. No, I don't think so.
You don't think they would?
No.
You have this Pollyannic view of it's Canadian. It's like, let's just apologize and let's just move on. I applaud Donald Trump for doing what's right. Bomb the hell out of them. Beat them send those rats back to the cracks where they belong and at least give the young people there a chance to run their own country. You may say, many of you may have said, why is Donald Trump being such a, excuse the French, hard ass? Why is he being such a hard ass about Greenland? Let me tell you why. Everybody says, and I read it from some of you here, well, we've got contracts with them that, if all we have to do is just let them know our intentions and it's understood. We're teammates. Well, can you think of any teammate that we have that's more intimate than, I don't know, England? We have 2 bases in England, one that for sure they would not have had we not gone over in World War II and saved their butts. Restorative history. It was really the Canadians that did it, I understand, but it's called USAF something or another in England. Cody would find it if he were here. There's also another one called like Pedro Garcia, something like that, that's a base that is a joint base with the U.S. and Britain. But the one has
Lakenheath?
has huge long runways. It's a super heavy runway. It's meant to handle B-52 bombers, is why it was built. And at the end of the day, because of the regime that's in charge, the Labour Party, the Starmer guy who's a spineless punk in England, he's afraid because they now have, open your eyes here, you leftist fools, they have such a huge, yes, Diego Garcia, the Indian Ocean. Thank you, Monty Howard.
RAF Fairford is the only European airfield that can accommodate our heavy bombers. in
And
England.
they are in, by all accounts, U.S. and English bases. But because Starmer is so spineless, and by the way, is the least popular prime minister since they've ever began keeping any type of poll. He's worried that if he let the U.S. use our own base in his country, that it really might upset his voters. So now you've got the national security interests of the United States being dictated, controlled, manipulated, albeit not intentionally. Starmer isn't pro Ayatollah. He's just in a hard spot because if he allows us, if he aids and abets us in our effort against Iran, that could upset his English voting Muslim public.
Well, they just lost the Labor Party
They
just
finished
lost
third.
a seat that they have held for 51 years.
They finished third in a seat that they've held for 51 years.
And it is now a predominantly Muslim riding.
You see, England has lost the immigration war. They have been effectively taken over.
The caliphate is happening.
That's right.
We just aren't paying attention
So
to
we've
it.
got the same crap going on right here in this country. Minnesota, New York City.
Seattle, Washington.
We were upset about, wow, I wouldn't want to elect Cuomo. He's got nipple rings. No, so let's just elect a Muslim communist. Either one is a reason not to be elected. We put them together and still elected him in New York City. So what you're heading towards is the reason that the U.S. says, no, we need to control Greenland so that we don't have to ask permission to land on our base in their country. We need to make Greenland just like Puerto Rico. It needs to be ours. It just does. It's in our national security best interest, and also in the best interest of Canada, who squawks and blames us for being too aggressive, but really secretly hopes that we get Greenland so that we can do what we need to do over there. So does Western Europe, secretly, quietly, hoping that we take over Greenland so that we actually have the presence there to protect the West. There is a chess game going on, and you can't simply sit around and watch the superficial checkers. I had never thought of, won't even try to dispute, that those cleric idiots may have all gotten together simply to be martyred as a last-ditch effort. Sir, the people are upset. Sir, we've killed young people. Sir, we've done it wholesale in the streets. The U.S. is upset
They don't
about
care. They
the
were
weapons.
ordered to kill them because they were trying to quell the uprising.
So, sir, we're in trouble here. There's going to be revolt. So the head cleric gets 40 of them. You never even see him at the Waffle House. Now they've got 40 of them there? Come on.
That's what I'm saying.
I can't disagree with that.
Tammy Williams says, Mexico cartel dude, check. Venezuela dude, check. Iran dudes, check.
I'm going to call you back. Whoever just called me, I'm going to call you back.
Here's the issue I have with this, Tammy. Venezuela seems to be the only one where we had some sort of secession plan, maybe. But all the cartel does is the next one up. Same thing in Iran. Next dude's up.
Good morning.
Hello, who've I got? You're on Wade and Carter Live. Did you call for that purpose?
Yes, sir. LJ Francis, State Board of Education member for District 2. How are you doing, Wade and Carter?
Hey, we're good.
doing
How are
good.
you?
How are you, Mr. Francis? You've been on our program before, sir.
That is correct. That is correct, sir. I was just calling to, just talk a little bit about what's going on in the campaign and remind your listeners today is the last day to go out and vote LJ Francis for State Board of Education for 4 more years.
Okay, so we know you are the incumbent.
That's right.
Take a second, because I know you've got a story to tell, and just talk to folks about, what the naysayers have said and how you address that with the truth.
So when I was elected last 3.5 years ago, Wade, I was elected to do a job. Thankfully, the people of Victoria and my 13 other counties helped me turn this district from blue to red. And I've done exactly what the people have asked me to do. when you talk about personal finance literacy, we had a problem with our youths just not getting that education that they need. I work with legislatures. Now, personal finance literacy for incoming grade 9 students is a requirement for graduation. I've advocated for higher quality instructional materials, and I've also displayed leadership by being, being voted chairman by my peers and appointed chairman for 2 committees by the board chairman. So we have great leadership in Austin. We have someone who is always giving a listening ear to teachers, parents, and who's always fighting for Victoria and for South Texas.
It's awesome. I tell you what, I've been following the race some, and I'm just been curious. I think the progress has been made, but I just know there's been some upheaval, in your, for lack of the right, in your base, and I just wondered if there were any. I'll be honest, I don't know what the issue is. I don't know what they're all up, or not all, but what some of them are up in arms about. And I just wondered if there's anything you want to address, you feel free to address it. And if not, I mean, we're telling people, hey, today's the day to vote. I encourage you, I know you're in Corpus. We encourage folks to get out and vote and make their voice heard. I'll give you another minute. You can tell folks what you want them to know.
Yes, sir. So, when we're looking at, who we're voting for, and, when we have this big choice that we have in front of us, we also need to, think about the November, because we're not just selecting a candidate for only this time, but we're selecting someone who will definitely beat the Democrat in the November election. And I'll tell you that person, and only that person, is me. I've beat the person who is the Democrat nominee already, because he was in the race last year and lost. So right. I think we need to remember going back to proven results, results driven. The leadership is here. There's no need for us to start back from zero. We finally have Republican strong leadership in Austin through me. And I also have always and consistently voted according to the values of this community.
There you go.
Well,
sir, hey, absolutely. It's LJ Francis, and by the way, we encourage everybody to get back. Thank you, sir, for the call. And I tell you what, get out and vote. Make your voice heard. Arm yourself. Go look it up. LJ Francis. Check him out. He has been on the show.
Board of Education.
Super nice guy when he was on the program. Got to give him that. And go check it out. And I do wonder about, like, the same folks, and I'm not saying that anybody's wrong here, but the same folks who are saying, well, we shouldn't be the world's police and we shouldn't yada, yada, yada. Those same folks are saying, well, I hope the U.S. doesn't, give Ukraine to Russia. So we're being asked to a degree to intervene in Ukraine, not that we haven't to the tune of hundreds of billions of dollars, but at the end of the day, what's going on in Iran affects our interest more than what's going on in Ukraine. I'm not saying that one person's life is worth more than another. I'm not saying that Putin and Russia aren't egregiously wrong in what they've done, but Putin and Russia, look, man, I mean, rock beats scissors. It's just the way it is. I mean, I'm sorry. I'm sorry that Russia is a bully. I'm not.
Well, we got our rare minerals out of Ukraine. All they have left is wheat to give. We don't need any more wheat. We need the oil out of Iran and the Middle East.
And you know what? I'm not saying that's a noble reason for starting a war, but if you want to look at it from the checkers level,
I'm being facetious.
But you're not wrong. I don't think you're wrong. I don't think that that's incorrect. And to a degree, that's a little bit shameful. But at the end of the day, if anybody has ever deserved a good butt kicking, it's Iran. That is inarguable. Whether you look at the humiliation they did with our Navy personnel under Obama, if you look at the USS Cole that they blew up under Clinton. If you look at 9/11, they did under Bush. I mean, you can go back. And by the way, every president, including Gerald Ford, since 1973, when the War Powers Resolution was formed, every one of them has employed it to create military action without congressional approval. Donald Trump did not
I don't even think we had congressional approval to go to Vietnam.
No, Donald Trump did not violate the Constitution by bombing Iran. And he told them, you got 10 to 15 days, depending on how I feel about it, depending on how the progress is coming, there you go. Yeah. The progress wasn't coming, and he told them, I heard him say, I'm going to bomb the hell out of them. I heard him say it. What else do you need? Quit thinking of the negotiation as you and your brother, and think of the negotiation as you and your son, where you go, well, what time do you think you're going to be home tonight, son? Oh, I was thinking about 11. I was thinking 10:30. Yeah, but I was thinking 11. And then you go out and you just don't make it home till 11. Well, don't be surprised when daddy smacks you. And that's exactly the role Donald Trump is taking with Iran. Now, the peripheral stuff, and this is okay, and my best friend and partner is in this, the sky is falling, the sky is falling. You can say, well, what do we do with it when they're free? What do we do with them? Well, what do we do when China gets upset? Well, you know what? You deal with that when it comes along. You do what's right. And Donald Trump said this the other day. I'm starting to think that Donald Trump really masks his faith because he just knows it's something else that the left will hammer him about. You do not need Congress to declare war to do what he did. That's it. That's just a fact. He didn't declare war.
Monty Howard said Vietnam had the Gulf of Tonkin resolution that was congressional authorization without using the specific words of declaring war.
And by the way, we had been there for years before the Gulf of Tonkin resolution happened. So, yeah, we were just made it official that we were there after we'd already been there in an advisory role. Yeah. You know, CIA, SEALs, it was all advisory.
We've closed embassies in Saudi Arabia and Kuwait. I've told Americans to get the heck out of a dozen countries.
I'm going to tell you that if Joe Biden had done what Donald Trump did, you and I would have probably been at least as for it, quote unquote, as we are now. And the left would have been like, see, he's not weak. Quit calling him weak. There's no doubt about it.
Joe Biden wouldn't have done it, though. That's the problem.
No, because he's a wuss. And I mean, I'm just telling you.
I mean, hindsight being what it is, I think Reagan's weakest moment was not going after Iran back in 1980.
Yeah. But see, here's the problem. If Reagan would have been smart, when we got the hostages home, which everybody seems to think was a backdoor deal that Reagan had negotiated that, hey, I'm taking office, and I do think it's what happened. Reagan, in some form or another, said, look, I'm taking office on January the 21st or whatever, and if I walk into office and my people aren't set free, you're going to have hell to pay. And they were always, I grew up with, you can't elect Reagan, he's a warmonger, he's a warmonger. Instead, they ended up negotiating on the backside, hold off, I'll take the attaboy for freeing the hostages, and we'll give y'all some money to kind of repair your country. That's probably what really happened. Politics is not for the idealist. Politics is cutthroat, mean-spirited, backstabbing obliteration. Patrick Strauss says Biden wasn't mentally capable. Did you see Hillary in her deal the other day? By the way, how many of you believe what Hillary said, that Ghislaine, how do you say it? Ghislaine, whatever, the Maxwell lady, showed up at Chelsea Clinton's wedding And Hillary, who maintains that she's never met her, liar. Hillary says, well, she was there as a +1 for somebody who was invited. What was that, Jeffrey Epstein? I mean, who did she go to the wedding with? And then you got Bill going, hey, that's a lie. I don't like him young. And he's such a tool.
Oh, huge.
And he goes, well, and what's her name, Nancy Mace?
Yeah.
He goes,
That's the name, yeah.
Yeah, she goes, well, wait a minute. Aren't interns young? Oh, well, yeah. I mean, that guy, he couldn't even look her in the eye. He was looking down. He's a beaten man. I guarantee you, Hillary walks in and just, pow, Bill, you idiot. Pow, pow, pow. He's been whooped for longer than he's been a man.
The New York Times, just quickly looking through this, because watching the video excerpts that I've seen, they describe Clinton as more relaxed under his questioning than Hillary. Bill did not look relaxed. I don't know what they were watching, the New York Times folks. Bill rarely made eye contact, and he was always doing the shifty eyes. He was lying through his teeth, folks.
And Bill's sitting there, and there's counsel between him and Hillary, and it just cracks me up. Unless you're trying to say to me that Bill Clinton's lost his mental faculties, which nobody has ever asserted, this woman, this lawyer, forget that she's a female, hats off to her for being a lawyer, she clarified the question for Bill Clinton, who you'll recall is a Yale-educated, I think Yale, if not Yale, Harvard, and he's a Rhodes Scholar.
I think she was Yale, wasn't she?
He's the smartest guy in the room. And she's going, are you asking the president if he was blah, 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 blah? And she goes, well, he knows what I asked him. It's all just I did not have sexual relations with that woman, Monica Lewinsky. He caught himself because he just referred to her as that woman. And then he thought, man, she was my friend. The least I can do. I did not have sex with Monica Lewinsky. Well, yeah, thank you, Cody. Bill Clinton was a Yale-educated attorney and a Rhodes Scholar. He did not need the half his age attorney to his left clarifying questions from a mere United States Congresswoman. Bill Clinton was the smartest person in that room yesterday, including Hillary. He just has a problem, is that he follows other body parts around to his own detriment.
Completely avoided the question of him being photographed in a hot tub with young women, said he didn't know her, said Epstein was only there to help with his humanitarian efforts to combat AIDS. Yeah, whatever.
I don't, what gets me is he was in a hot tub. He looked, I'm being objective, he looked dead sober. He was not nude. He was wearing some kind of a navy blue swim trunk. And what we're calling a hot tub was a large,
Pretty large pool.
it was a pool.
Yeah.
And the Maxwell lady is to his right, dressed. And there's another woman that they blacked out her face. And I think the insinuation is
She's underage.
she's got to be 12. Yeah. You know, I mean, I'm not saying that Bill Clinton's not a pedophile. But if you gave me a coin to flip and said, Clinton's not if Trump's not, then to me, they're not. I mean, do I believe that there's a really sick, demented group of people in the world? Absolutely. Would it surprise me that it was through the chain of, and I'm making this up, but like the Rothschilds, that they, the Trilateral Commission, that they're ultimately, some of them are devil worshipers.
I think Epstein is the key figure in this one.
But don't forget that Donald Trump was an outsider to this group of people. Yes, he knew Jeffrey Epstein. Yes, he turned Epstein in for being a bad guy. I'm not trying to make
Florida prosecutors at the time, which were Democrats, didn't want to prosecute Jeffrey Epstein because he was giving them all a bunch of money for their elections.
And Trump's not a hero here by any means, and I'm not giving him a pass. I mean, Trump married several times, divorced several times, a notorious philanderer. Did he probably have sex with that porn star? Probably. She wasn't 11. They show pictures that there's the problem. The left's unhinged evidence is always wrong. They show pictures of him with his arms around girls. It turns out they're all in Atlantic City. They're all over 21, and they're all in one of his beauty pageants.
Yeah. And then they were showing pictures of him with young kids. Oh, they happen to be his kids.
Yeah, they show that. They showed him. He's on a private jet, and there's a little girl sitting between his legs, and he's got his arm around her. It's his granddaughter. And the left just goes, oh, so he's an incestuous pedophile.
Oh, it's not tinfoil land, Randy. I believe there's some nasty stuff that went on there. I've seen some of the videos. I can't get through some of the stuff. I saw a video of a girl sitting in basically a vertical shower as they were filling it up with water, and she's chained to the chair, screaming in terror that she's going to be drowned.
Yeah. No, I think
And this
that's
is supposedly in the Epstein files.
yeah. No, what's
Bad
interesting?
crap happened on that island, no doubt about it. And a lot of people are involved. But I don't think it's the big names that everybody wants it to be, like Trump or even the Clintons. I think the Clintons are more dirty and have dirtier ties with Epstein. And I'm pretty sure Bill Clinton and his lust for young women probably had it fulfilled by Jeffrey Epstein.
Right. Right.
But I don't think it was young girls. I think it was young women. Monica Lewinsky may have been tied in there. Who knows? Hence the blue dress painting that Epstein commissioned. That's the other bunch of BS. Epstein isn't commissioning a painting of Bill Clinton in a blue dress, poking fun at something like that for somebody he barely knows.
No, that's right. No,
That's
they
good
were
friend
buddies.
level inside joke stuff that goes on.
Yeah.
But the stuff that happened on Epstein Island is nasty and dirty, and the names that are involved are being covered up. Trump is a smokescreen. Oh, his name appears in the files millions of times. So do lots of people.
Yeah.
So do all the women on The View.
That's right.
Anybody that made an allegation is in those files because it's one big file. It's a file of investigations.
Well, and I think Epstein had a true disdain, if not hatred, for Donald Trump. And I think it involved politics, and I think it involved, it may have even involved his friendship with Bill Clinton. And Hillary. They act like there's just no way. There's simply no way that Jeffrey Epstein was at the White House 17 times by invitation and never met the First Lady. Folks, that's a lie. Yeah. And you know what? When you deal with conspiracies, there's what you knew and what you should have known. And
I'm not going to download the files, but
No, I wouldn't download them. I've perused them.
Some of the stuff I've seen, I don't want to go into those files. I can't get there mentally and emotionally. It's the little bit I've seen is disturbing enough.
Concur.
But I'm also not a prosecutor and should be going in there because that's my job.
No, you're a prognosticator, and I enjoy hearing you do so. You got to wonder, Tommy Kingston with a solid question, did the U.S. take out Epstein? Very interesting.
Probably.
Yeah. It's just so convenient for the left on everything. Donald Trump cures cancer. Well, but he's a pedophile. I mean, there's no evidence. There's zero evidence that the man, they can't even prove he was on the island. That's what's interesting. Can't even prove it. Hey, John Ross, happy birthday. He says he's 37 today. If you self-announce on the program, we'll give you a birthday shout out. Folks, it's the top of the hour. Lots of food for thought today.
Lots going on in the world. Go make the world a better place.
Amen. Chew on the food, and we'll see y'all again in the morning. Junior Sample says Epstein is alive in Israel. That photo was proven to be AI. Take care. Y'all have a great day.
Bye, folks.
Bye, folks.